Alright, so if you want a chicken breed that's a Rhode Island Red, but is not a Rhode Island Red because they have absolutely no contributions to each other, well, I'd highly recommend an ISA Brown. But you're like, bro, what the hell is an ISA Brown? And, well, here they are. So if you look under the coop, you'll see a brownish chicken, not that silver one that's not that gold lace wyandotte that's walking out. ISA Browns are the best layers if you don't want a Rhode Island Red, and they're much better around family. So if you want like a pet flock, I'd highly recommend ISA Browns, or even if you just want like, here's a closer look at an ISA Brown right in that bush. For some reason she's in there. So ISA Browns, really cool chickens, would recommend. But why would I recommend them? They're very good affordability, and the fact that they're very inexpensive, and you can have them so that way they're only hens. It's very easy since they're known as red sex-linked chickens. That's their nickname. And then there's the other things with this chicken as well, which are the really good egg production, which is about 300 to 345 eggs a year, which when you take a look at that, that's about 95% of the year they're laying an egg on average, which is absolutely crazy to think about it. So yeah, I'd highly recommend them if you can get them, obviously. And there's a couple other good benefits that they give you, like friendliness. Rhode Island Reds give you the amount of eggs that you want, but not the amount of friendliness that these chickens provide you with. Like, yes, they're a lot better in pet flock, and you're like, what are some benefits of that? So let me show you. Alright, so if you notice that I have a rooster over here, he's really annoying. He's the worst rooster anyone could possibly ever ask for. Well, you're in luck if you think that an ISA Brown rooster will be better than Falcon could have ever dreamed of being. Because yes, 100%. These roosters are so much better, but they're very hard to come by. I'll say with most breeds of chickens, you have about a 60% chance of getting all hens if you have them properly bred correctly. But with these chickens, typically I'd say there's probably like an 80 or 90% chance, especially since they're sex-linked chickens. So it is 100% guaranteed for some breeders that they can give you the right hen or rooster. I would prefer all hens, considering that you can give them in a pet environment. So what are some benefits of it being in a pet environment? Well, these chickens lay same amount of eggs, live for a similar amount of times as other chickens, even though sometimes more. These chickens typically live for about 8 years or more. Most chickens live for about 6 years or more. And they're a lot less prone to egg diseases. I've noticed that a lot with other breeds of chickens. As they get older, they start dying due to egg diseases. These chickens have a little bit less, but it's a very unnoticeable thing, since they still can die, especially at an earlier age, due to this sort of stuff. And not only that, but their eggs are also store-bought quality, if not even better. So now let's break down the necessary details about this chicken that you need to know before you get it. So, how long do they live? Like I said, 4 to 12 years on average. So about the same as the other chickens. They lay about up to 365 eggs a year. With some, they can lay every single day of the year, and others are slacking off for a couple days, which is fine, by me at least. As far as friendliness goes, on the scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give him a solid 8.5. I have seen friendlier breeds of chickens, like Easter Eggers and Buff Orpingtons, but the benefit of the doubt that I got you here is that they lay more eggs than any of those chickens. Another thing here is, are they better than Rhode Island Reds? Well, it's a draw, sort of. To be honest, yes. In terms of friendliness and egg production, they are better than Rhode Island Reds. But their eggs are a little bit less, they are a little bit smaller, but you still get similar quality. So if you compare a store-bought egg to a farm egg, there is some differences that you'll notice, especially with the ISA Brown eggs, but there's really no difference in terms of color or hue of the eggs. So there's very little to no detail that you'll notice if you slip in an ISA Brown egg and replace it. If you replace an egg that you find in like a store carton with like an ISA Brown egg, there's really little to no difference. Obviously if you slip like a black copper Marin egg in there, there'll be a big difference, but not these chickens. Now my final point brings me over to these chickens over here, especially this one right here, Loudmouth. She's my go-to buff now for getting cleans, because unfortunately Lovey died recently. Why am I talking about other breeds of chickens? Because all these chickens ask you to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Alright, that was pretty bad, but they sort of do want you to. They'd prefer if I help them fund their little mealworm edition, and looking at the price of mealworms nowadays, yeah, it's pretty safe to say they're not cheap. Neither is chicken food. Chickens need to be fed. If you want to see more chicken videos just like this one, I'm uploading 2 videos a day, mostly morning and evening. So find the time that works best for you and watch all of them. 4,000 hours soon.